Welcome on in. We appreciate your patience. It's your boy G Bush right here with the Barbershop. We are ready to go. We know Shedeur Sanders bald. We understand that. But what I need to do is get y'all ready and prepared for what not only happens Friday, what happens this week. Because you see, we don't have time to be looking back. We don't got no time to be arguing over trivial things. Let me get this thing right out here in the open. War is not over. We won a little battle, but the war has just begun. And in order to fight a war, you have to always be able to fight on your own terms. Always be able to battle on your own terms. We got a couple of analogies. We got a couple history lessons. We got some Browns. We got Shedeur Sanders. We got everything moving. And we're going to tell you what to expect coming up this next week. Because if you think that they're not about to send him back down, if you don't think that they're going to move him back to the end of the pack, you're mistaken. And it'd be malpractice for me not to put together something that you'll understand, so you'll be prepared and you'll be able to speak to that, because you never want to be caught off guard. This way, we ain't never going to be caught off guard. We tell you what happens with Shedeur Sanders. We tell you what happens with the Cleveland Browns. And why this depth chart, it ain't going to change overnight. You're listening to G Bush in the Barbershop. Welcome on in. We got a truncated version of the Barbershop. We with you 1 hour today, one whole hour if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, if you are out there moving around on Barbershop. We appreciate every single person. We appreciate the comments, right? You know, super chats are great. I always say, you say, G Bush, how can we help the show? How can we help this content? The best thing that you guys can do is hit a like, hit a share, hit a comment. That's it. Like, share, comment. That's all we want. All we want is the interaction. That helps us the most. But we appreciate every single super chat that we get, and we appreciate you. We got a great show coming up for you today. Coming up at 2 o'clock my time, I will be back. Don't worry, I'm on with Big Snacks. If you are in the Colorado community, I'll be on with Big Snacks from 2 to 3. So we pull in a little double duty. We're going to give you the Barbershop like we told you was going to do you right now. And then we're going to come back at 2 o'clock with the live. It'll be right here on the Barbershop. So don't go nowhere. It'll be ready to go. We'll be back from 2 to 3 with Big Snacks. We got a great show planned for you today. What I wanted to do is I wanted to unpack some of the stuff that we've been seeing. The game has happened. We've seen what the game is. We've seen that Shedeur Sanders can play, but we all knew Shedeur Sanders could play ball, right? But here's the thing. I said on Friday, they got 48 hours to come up with something to talk about. You got 48 hours to figure out what you're going to do. Monday is coming. And let me tell you what is going to happen. I need y'all to be well prepared for it, right? Because if you're prepared for it, you know how to get to it, right? Let's talk about this. When you are moving forward, don't look back. Don't do it. The Bible is full of analogies. The Bible is full of parables that tell us about the dangers of looking back and not moving forward. I can go to the story of Lot. Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. He says, take you and your family. Leave. I'm gonna save you because you are a righteous man. Lot takes his family and leaves. He said, you got one thing I'm gonna tell you not to do. Don't look back. Don't look back. Everybody stood. Everybody got the directions. Lot's wife, unfortunately, looked back. According to the good book, turned to a pillar of salt. Hey, the Exodus, one of the biggest stories in the Bible, the Exodus from Egypt. Let my people go. We've all seen it. Let my people go. Plague after plague after plague after plague. Pharaoh finally let his people go. Moses parts the Red Sea. They walk across on dry land. All the Israelites They saw it firsthand. First generation saw it, ready to go. Saw it. And guess what? They got in the wilderness and they forgot how quickly we forget what miracles you just saw behind you. They got in the wilderness. They said, did we make the right choice? Did he just bring us out of Egypt to have us die in the desert? We don't got no food. We've been wandering around. Where's this promised land at? And guess what? God said, you know what? This generation won't see it. You're not going to see the promised land. You saw what I gave you just a couple of seconds ago. And how can you see a miracle like that and still moving forward? You don't do what you need to do. And you start murmuring, complaining. Say, G. Bush, here you go with sermons on a Sunday again. What the heck does this have to do with anything we doing with Shedeur Sanders and all that good stuff? See, it's about progress and moving forward. When you are moving forward and you see progress and your hand is to the plow, you don't turn back. You don't let people distract you with what used to be and what was and how it was and what it was. No. Starting Monday, the conversation needs to firmly stay on the field. I've already seen it. I've already seen the transpirings. I've already seen the rumblings. This conversation about why all the Shedeurians, how crazy do they look now? How crazy do they look now? Because they tried to say the Browns were trying to sabotage him. There was no sabotage. Here's the reason why they didn't give him reps. Here's the reason he just couldn't do X, Y, and Z. Here's the reason. This was the reason why he didn't. See, you got to be smarter. I'm just giving you the game plan. Ain't nobody going to do it like this. I'm giving you, see, anybody could tell you and do backflips about what happened. But who going to tell you what's about to show up? So when you see it, you be like, that boy G. Bush told us the same doggone, dang it. He had it again. Why would you focus on the things that do not matter, which is conjecture about the Cleveland Browns and the process in which they got Shedeur Sanders? Again, this is a telltale sign of individuals not being tapped in, logged in, and serious about football. Football has become the tabloids. Football has become empty calories. Football is your sugar fix. Football is your vice. And instead of having 3 square meals, little carbs, lean proteins, fruits and vegetables, you eat candy bars every day. And then you wonder why you don't feel so good after the game. Because you was eating candy bars for a whole 3 months. And the second you got you some vegetables, your body went in shock. Hold on, what's this feeling? What is this feeling here? I feel strange. You go to the doctor and say, doctor, I ate some fruits and vegetables the other day, and I just feel like I don't have any energy. What's going on? He said, you was eating that garbage for 3 weeks. You've been eating that garbage for 4, 5, 6, 10 months, right? And when you don't concentrate on what happens on the field and breaking down what happens on the field, and you consistently move the goalposts, and you consistently want to tell people this is what's happening, this is why it ain't happening, but you don't take the time, energy, and effort to break down what's on the field, of course, your natural progression is to, again, not say what you saw on Friday, but give yourself some leeway so you can save face. Because the natural progression is anybody that plays like that, anybody that puts that level of tape on the field, and everybody is evident. Celebrities, former quarterbacks, analysts, loudmouth talk show hosts, nursery babies, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, everybody with two eyeballs saw it. So instead of talking about what you saw and how great it was, you pivot to, you guys are so dumb. Look what he did. And you tried to say that he was being sabotaged. How crazy is that? Y'all is not, let me tell you something. Y'all think y'all, listen, let me tell y'all something. You got to learn how to deal with these folks, man. These people is master communicators. That propaganda is a lot. I'm telling you, they will do them backflips, and you'll be like, so you just turned that performance into the joke's on you because you thought we were sabotaging him? That spin is phenomenal. That spin is phenomenal. Like, because you have to say that. Because the next progression is, if you've been hating, if you've been doing that, and you've been at practice every day, and you've been seeing him do this, and he's been balling, he was balling in practice, he was balling in OTAs, he was better than Gabriel then, nobody saw what Kenny Pickett was talking about, and you got story after story after story after article saying that this dude can't read defenses, he can't do nothing, and he goes out there and looks like that, and still gives you the wrist. First thing I told Shedeur Sanders, I seen Boogie on my show. First thing I said, Shedeur, I say, hey, send this way. First thing you gonna do, let me tell you something. You got people out here in these streets that don't care what nobody talking about. The first thing that they will do is don't you ever get stripped of your confidence. Your confidence is what gets you and puts you there. Irrational confidence. You got to be irrational about it. You got to be, I don't care. Listen, if my mother told me today, and I love my mother and love my father dearly. When I started this journey, I said, I'm going back to broadcasting school. I was in my 30s. They was like, I mean, you got bills to pay. But when you got irrational confidence and you already done saw what God gonna give you, it don't matter who tell it to you. My ex-wife was like, you'll never make money off YouTube. Hi, hope you're doing okay out there. Irrational confidence. So when they try to tell him, I think he needs to get rid of the celebrations and just dumb it down. No, that's you. Don't be projecting your insecurities on somebody else. You want to be regular. You're regular. You don't want to you don't want to put no extra work hours in. You have no will to move up at your job. You won't invest in yourself. You won't put no money in your pocket to get better. You won't go to the gym. You won't eat right. You won't spend no time with your kids. See, this is why. This ain't for everybody. I'm waiting for these numbers to drop. Stop projecting. When you put the rollie on, when you put the watch up, you know what that means? I'm nice. And it don't matter. See, the watch is imaginary. Think about it. I could buy one. You can get one. But know what he's telling you? When he do this, he's saying we on a different type of time. My time ain't your time. You punch in, I clock in. I ain't no hourly, I ain't hourly, I'm salary. I'm gonna do me regardless. See, you hourly dudes, you be walking around. Ain't no wrong with an hourly salary, but when you salary, it's different. You're gonna get paid regardless. And if you're a real one, you say, I'm gonna get the same effort regardless. That's why it don't matter if his Florio's engages out there, because he inspired you to get more. It ain't no coincidence that Florio was reaching out with the left hand. What a catch. What a catch. That's because he's inspired to do more. Who you think Lou Florio won out there? Who you think Gage Larverdin won out there? I mean, if it's between him and Peggy, give me Shedeur. He got irrational confidence. Irrational. Think about this. This is unprecedented. You'll get elevated. You got that irrational behavior. They elevate you a little bit. Deshaun Watson made the trip. He the richest dude on the sideline. He got more money. He got more money than everybody. He watching. You got the dude that's your age that they picked ahead of you and Dylan Gabriel watching. The old veteran Joe Flacco, they interviewing him on the sidelines. Super Bowl champ. I know Ray Lewis. I throw him for more yards than, but anything. I'm in the top 15 of yards thrown all time. I'm Joe Flacco. And you got Kenny Pickett. He said, I'm a first-round pick. I got a Super Bowl ring, too. You want to see it? You know what Shedeur Sanders comes in? He come in with a boombox, jewelry, looking at that wrist. For most people, that's very intimidating because you know they sitting back hoping. They go put the good face on. But everybody on that sideline want to play. They competitors, too. Everybody on that field, every quarterback on that sideline feel like they could do the same thing. So they watching you. Yeah, they watching you. They showing you, yeah, they watching you. They looking, judging. And you just go out there like you don't see nobody out there. Nobody in the building. I don't see nothing. I don't see a dang on thing. And you put on that type of performance. I'll tell you what, it reminds me of something. We working our way to somewhere. We working our way. We working our way somewhere. We working. Let me see. There we go. 2,800, 300 people, wherever you at, hit that like button. Hit that like button, hit that share button. We're going to cook. Let me tell you this. History rewards the bold and innovative. I'm a history guy. I love history. And what I love most about history is something that will always repeat itself. History is something that you can study. You can learn from another person somewhere else. Don't make the same mistakes that another person made when you can just learn from them without making a mistake. You ain't got to have first-hand knowledge. You can learn from somebody else. But you can also gain a bunch of knowledge from that. History rewards the bold and innovative. One of my favorite generals, favorite people in the history of this world is Hannibal. Hannibal from Carthage in Africa. See, they be trying to tell you, oh man, Africa, you know, you guys, Africa, you know, it's pillaged, it's diamonds, it's been exploited, it's been conquered, Hannibal brought the greatest civilization, the Roman Empire, to his knees, trembling, because he was unpredictable, he was innovative, he was bombastic, he inspired people. He had war elephants, not because the elephants were necessarily like cavalry and they were as effective as cavalry and mounted, riders. It's the fact that he struck fear in anybody who saw. You got people from Roman cities in Italy, and the sight of mounted war elephants was awesome. 9 times out of 10, the people used to just put the spears down and run. You seeing people get trampled right in front of you. The elephants with the cry and the scream. Archers raining down arrows from the top of the war elephants. But one of the biggest reasons that Rome was so scared of Hannibal was they knew that he would do what nobody else thought he would do. To get to Rome, you could have got on boats and ferried across, but they had too many cities that was well entrenched, too many cities that was well fortified with Roman soldiers and reserves. They could have just waited them out. Food supply lines. So what did Hannibal do? He said, I'm outnumbered 3-1, 2-1 in terms of troops. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up at Rome's front doorstep. But to do that, he had to climb his war elephant and his men through the Alps in the middle of winter. What? I'm talking to one of the most intimidating mountain ranges on the planet. And he has cavalry, horses, food reserves, elephants going through narrow pathways over the Alps to land in Italy by the spring. Let me tell you something. He also had Gauls, tribes in Gaul that were not sympathetic. As a matter of fact, he lost half his men and half his elephants just to get over the Alps. Enemy fire, unfriendly tribes, just to land in Rome. But you know what it did? He won the next 3 battles undefeated. Less men, less cavalry, less reserves, because he was strategic, he was bold, he was innovative. And when you're innovative, the men that you have with you, and when you're bold, the men you have with you, you're going to get every single ounce of energy out of them. They're going to play well. They're going to practice well. They're going to make plays like the Florios. Let me get that one-handed pass. They're going to make sliding catches. The offensive line look like they 2s and 3s. Guess what? They ain't 2s and 3s no more. They blocking like they 1s. You get veterans, David Njoku and Myles Garrett in street clothes, running out after you, running hard, showing you that love. In order for the Cleveland Browns, or in order for any team to get where they need to be, you need somebody that's bold, innovative, and unashamed to speak irrationally. Hannibal did it. Roman aristocrats fired and kept firing council, kept firing them. They put another council in. We're going to vote him. We're going to vote this other senator in. He's the leader of the army now. And every single time they trotted out there, you know what they did? They underestimated his genius. See, not only was he a master tactician, he was actually a master genius at understanding human nature and personalities. He would go and taunt them. He'd ride his cavalry and he'd have scouts go in front of their encampment and taunt them. Yeah, you see what we're doing over here? We're taunting you. Let me pull up on you. Come on over here, right? And he would always get them to fight battles on his terms. And that's what you got to do. Fight battles, always make them fight the battles on your terms. So as you move forward, and as you talk, and as we go through this process, be ready for them to say, oh, it's part of the process where he's back at the 4th string. He's 4th on the depth chart because we're going to have to because here's the thing. They're going to have to give those guys shots, because now the world done saw it. We done all saw it. Tick, tick, tick. Now I need each one of them other dudes that get out there. The bar has been set. The bar has been set. I saw 2 touchdowns. I seen the team move 3 drives, touchdown drives. I see guys making catches. Balls in your court. Yeah, Just what I expect. Guess what? In a roundabout way, in a very cute way, who would have known that Shedeur Sanders would make them have a quarterback competition? Because now the onus is on you. See, when you go first, you have the opportunity to set the tone. Now when them veterans get in there, what's your excuse? You got all the reps. You still was getting all the reps last week. You're probably still going to get more reps. And what's your excuse? Because every excuse that you're going to give them, we can eloquently point out that you didn't give it to Shedeur Sanders. You see, sometimes take joy in the spoilings, right? Take joy in the fact that there was no first team reps, because now you set the rules. See what I'm saying? You set the rules. Y'all told us this was what it was. Who cares if he ain't playing with the first unit? It's an opportunity. Who cares if he ain't got the guys out there? Who cares if he don't get the reps? He's an opportunity, and he better take full advantage of it. So now I'm going to say the same thing about Kenny Pickett. Who cares who's out there? Deliver. Dylan Gabriel. Deliver. Even Joe Flacco. Deliver. Competition is on. The heat is on. And who would have known that playing Shedeur Sanders in the first game forced a lot of people's hands? And guess what? Even if he don't play in the next game, nobody should be upset. He's in the dugout. Like we say in battle rap. Make this dude rap. Make these dudes rap. Don't come up here with all that fluffy stuff. I want bars. I want bars directed. Don't come up here with these written 16s and these mixtape bars. Make him rap directly to you. Make them rap. I don't care if Shedeur don't play. The onus ain't on him no more. Remember what I told you about looking back? The onus ain't on him. Who cares if you thought he could and couldn't play? Guess what? You saw he can. Now it's up for everybody else to prove that they can play under the same stipulations, under the same rationale, under the same whole bullet point print about how the rules of engagement are. We need to see it. If I'm Shedeur, I'm on the side drinking Kool-Aid. Because guess what? It's the only way that can happen. Now, you have to stand on your own merit, and we got a comparison. Who want to step up to the challenge? But Cleveland Browns, we know what's coming. They might move that depth chart somewhere. They may move it backwards and all kind of other stuff. Oh, well, listen, this was always part of the plan. This was always part. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with it. Okay, go ahead. Do your thing, dog. We just cooking, man. We just cooking here. We just hanging out. Let's get to this. As you see, we giving them that work right now. Shedeur Sanders won the battle. He did. All right? But as I told you the story of Hannibal, as I told you that story, I didn't give you the rest of it. Hannibal did win his next 3 to 4 battles convincingly. One in which people thought was the death blow to the Roman Empire. All of the legions lay sieged. They had already burned the countryside, and nothing stood between Hannibal and his road to Rome to avenge his father and do what his father couldn't do in the First Punic Wars. But something happened. Historians talk about it all the time, and they figure it out, and they argue back and forth. His generals told him, Hannibal, we need to take the city. Rome is right in our sights. It's a few days marches. We could be right at the walls of Rome. We've wiped out most of the army. It'll be days before they can get reinforcements. But for some odd reason, he hesitated. He said, no, my men need a much needed break. And he broke and he stayed in camp, decided not to go to Rome. Some people argue, why would you do that? You had him on the ropes. Some historians say, well, he knew that he couldn't win that war. Rome was greatly fortified. Tons of rations. They could have just locked the gates and left them outside and played the battle of attrition. Starve out the people that are outside of your gates and don't engage. Rome was the fortified capital of the world. Some argue that Hannibal knew his tactics and the way he used them in open battle weren't the same way you can win it in a war. And I say this, Shedeur Sanders, he can win a battle because we know what he is and how he moves. But the same way you win a battle is not necessarily how you end a war. And so as you look, you say to yourself, because this is going to happen, Shedeur Sanders might not even play in the second preseason game. The consequences of a 4-quarterback battle. Dillon Gabriel is a 3rd-round pick. There'll be people that say, you didn't give Dillon Gabriel an opportunity. It isn't fair. That's a nominal thought. See how we come back to fair? Same thing you guys were saying with Shedeur, right? That word will come back. Fair. Dillon needs an opportunity to see what he has. Kenny Pickett, he lost his job due to injury. You got to give him an opportunity to see what he got. He was the guy he was the leader in camp. We said all along he was the number one. Yeah, he's gonna get that shot. And pretty soon, Joe Flacco, if he's gonna be the starter, is going to have to get ready to play football the first game, is he not? You got to play sometime. So as you see, there's a world in the universe where Shedeur Sanders, even after what he put on film, even after what he did and the whole world saw it, guess what? He might not even play in the second preseason game. Now, a lot of people will jump to conclusions and be upset. In normal times, you should be upset. In your heart of hearts, you said, why am I seeing it? How can you go out, G. Bush, and do what he did, and they still move him back to the 4th string? They still don't give him this. They still don't give him that. They still don't give him this. Get him out of here. Tell him to go somewhere else. No, 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 no. That ain't how you win the war. That ain't how you win the war. You see, some would have thought there's a little known misnomer here too. Hannibal, he understood he couldn't win. He asked for some reinforcements. One of his main generals in Carthage, he had his own ambitions. He sabotaged them. He delayed them for months. Delayed men, delayed rations. And then the Romans woke up. They said, let's put a guy in charge that thinks like Hannibal, who does unpredictable things. You know what he did? This general said, why are we fighting Hannibal in Rome? There's one thing that Hannibal is. He's loyal. He loves his country. And he's on this mission because he's doing it because of his father failed. So here's what we're going to do. Why don't we just attack Hannibal at home? We'll take our ships and we'll pillage Africa. How long can his men stay in Italy and in Rome while they know they get word back from home that their villages, cities, people are burning? They knew what type of person Hannibal was. He loved his, he was a great countryman. So the best way to beat Hannibal was always to avoid him. Remember, always fight the battle on your terms. And sometimes the best way, in the words of Jay-Z, the best way to watch somebody is not directly look at them. Sometimes the best way to win a battle is to not even fight. So don't get it all hot and bothered if Shedeur don't play against the Eagles. He's already done what he needed to do. It is now up for the other three. And there is nothing they can say. You received your opportunity. Here's what you did. Here's the data. You received your chance. Here's what you did. Here's the data. Now you're forced to evaluate in real time, in real life. Not about who you like, not about who you see eye to eye with, not who you thought was good, who got a raw deal, who you identify with, who you think is the best chance to win. Now we get the chance to see it. It's funny how it works when you go first. You actually make them play. You can't write this one away. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch you play against the Eagles. And I don't want to hear it. What's the world champion Eagles? I mean, Shedeur, he went against the Panthers. They're a 3-something team. They had the #1 pick for a reason. They're in the top 5 for a reason. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they're like world champions. So like it's apples comparison. Really shut your mouth. You're not gonna get this one. You're not gonna get this one. Because I'm not wishing bad things on people. All I've wanted was the competition to begin with. You're the one who made it about how we were just doing it because he's famous in his last name. No, we're doing it because he's good. You're just doing it because you're doing it because you're trying to get views. No, we're doing it because he can be a franchise quarterback. And by the way, you're getting views for saying stupid stuff too. Y'all think y'all slick. You ain't gonna get no views showing them no love now. This is why. Stop, G. Bush. You had them. You did your analogies. I thought you did a good job setting it up. Now you're being antagonistic. I apologize being antagonistic on a Sunday. But understand the enemy from afar. The goalposts are already moving. Get ready. It starts early tomorrow, 5 p.m. New news cycle. The thoughts of why Shedeur Sanders, even though he played well, doesn't equal up to the news cycles. Well, Shedeur Sanders is good for television, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's starting game one. Shedeur Sanders needs to go back to the back of the line because he was starting at the back of the line, and you can't lose your position due to injuries. The Browns have 6 quarterbacks, and they got to see from everybody. And this is why I'm intrigued to see these guys, even if Shedeur don't play. This is why you tune into the Barbershop, because you want to hear. I'm telling you how you gonna deal with it. I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you that. I'm giving you that medicine now, so that when you hear it on Tuesday, you don't got to get all out of character. You've been vindicated. You have your documentation. They want to call you in the office and say, I know that you're within your 60 to 90 days and you just started here, and I get that everything, is going on with your family, but here um, our policy is that, we can't have any misses within this time period. So I just want to give you a verbal warning. Hold on, Susan. Let me pull this out. Let me show you. Yeah, actually, Susan, what I did is I have FMLA. Yeah, this is my note from my doctor. Right here. I've already enclosed the FMLA hours that I've requested. And if you didn't know about it, it's called Family Leave Act. So yeah, my job is protected while I'm on FMLA. I also actually have it documented here, and in my doctor's note is here. I could give you my case number if you want it. They changed their tune real quick. Oh, FMLA, I didn't know. Oh yeah, they sent you an email last month and said I was approved. Yeah, I have 800 hours, and I have physical therapy coming up on Friday. No, you change your tune. You guys have the FMLA paperwork. You got the documentation. Just show it. Sorry, I know you guys are talking all about, like, we were upset because the Browns were sabotaging him, and before it was the 5th round pick, and before it was he was getting reps with the trash can, before it was his dad and all. But listen, we have FMLA. We actually have tape. The tape is here. Like, we all know, the world knows now. Like, so I'm not going to argue with you on it. You take it how you want it. We have the deal. We have the paperwork. Now it's time for you to show and prove what you can do. We're not going to be bothered. We're unbothered. We have tape. We do. And now I don't really necessarily have to put the pressure on you. I'll just let Ocho Cinco or Kurt Warner or Bernie Kosar or Chase Daniel, or I don't know who else you like out there. I'll let those guys get with you because I'm insignificant now. The national media already has it. They already got that. All right, man, I'm done. I am done. Let's get to these super chats. I am finito. You guys been crazy, man. P. Rosting, 2164. I love how he asked Grocery why you be hating on him, then laughing at him. This is the only beginning of this transition. You see that? Listen, this is why I talk about when I be talking about it. I'm getting to it. This is what I be saying, P. Rothstein. He's a master communicator. He comes off as self-deprecating. He don't even really go out. He said, Tony, why you be hating, bro? You be hating a lot, man. Come on, what I do to you, Tony? All you could do is laugh. All you could do is laugh. That's why when I say you can win battles with your skills, but you win wars with your charisma, your integrity, your people skills, your communication, your the way you articulate yourself. That's how you win the war. When you got both of them combined with the skill sets and dropping down, can't lose. Can't lose. You can't lose. David McGuire, 107. I love that picture, my brother. What was awesome to see Shedeur ball out on Friday. Sky's the limit for him. Even as a Maslin Tiger alum, I enjoy your content because you always keep it 100. Much respect, bro. By the way, listen, I respect Maslin to the nth degree. Shout out to y'all. Congratulations on your first state championship. Now, you know y'all be having like 300. Y'all say y'all got mythical. Y'all got shout out to the one on the field. But I appreciate how y'all do it. Maslin, they about ball. Hey, you're only good as your villain, right? Faye Francis 1377, Shedeur 12, love from Canada. Shout out to, by the way, shout out to our partners in Canada. Best in the game. My wife is just giving me this. Let's see. She makes sure I get it. Here we go. We got the super chat together. I'm gonna put it here. We're gonna read it. Shout out to Tristan Skywalker. What a great name. Tristan Skywalker is elite. $100 super chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. See you, Uncle, checking in. Just want to know we appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for always giving us the real with 12 and hoping him get the fair treatment. That's all we ever wanted and ask for keep doing what you are doing. Go Buffs. Tristan Skywalker, I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody that pulls up, because how I get down is this. Yeah, more than anything, we all like Shedeur. We all feel like he could be a franchise quarterback for this organization. Here's what we got to say. You got to give him ultimate credit, because he gave you the ammunition to go out here and talk this way. He delivered. He delivered on it. That's why, listen, I always say I respect LeBron James at a different level, because LeBron had all these expectations. People was calling him King James, for God's sakes. And guess what? His first game, he calmly walked out there and delivered against the Sacramento Kings like it was nothing. He had whole people on his team. He had Carlos Boozer. He had dudes like Darius Miles. I don't think he's going to come in here and do all that. Ricky Davis. I don't think he's going to come in here and do that. I mean, people got lives and people, it's grown men. He ain't going to be coming in here doing all that. I mean, we got other guys. You better shut up. And he just calmly walked in and dropped 25, 6, and 7 at 12 years old or something stupid he was at. Shedeur Sanders walked right in there with his same music, his chain, all that above, the same what he was, and did what we always saw him do. Move around. And by the way, I thought he was slow. I thought he wasn't mobile. I thought he couldn't do that against nobody in the league. I thought his arm wasn't no good. Below average arm. He can't do that in the league. He ain't got Travis Hunter. It don't matter. We got Florio. You don't know he's nice? We done showed a lot of people. Shout out to Canada. G. Bush, beautifully blessed. Michael Irvin says Shedeur completed that pass to Deontay. He would have had 144 yards. I flew to Charlotte from Tampa. He did not disappoint. Paid it off. I want y'all to know it's different. Let me tell y'all why it's different. I seen the baby. Shout out to the baby. He's from Charlotte. He's the only mainstream rapper, the biggest rapper ever from Charlotte. He had to take his Panthers gear off in the box where his mama was at. He was hot. He said, you know what I got to do? I got to put the 12 on. It's still time. It's still time, local media. It's still time to get your Shedeur Sanders 12 jerseys for your kids. I know they've been asking for them. I refuse to do that. It's time to get them for your grandchildren. It's okay. Let them rock the 12. It's okay. Oh, goodness. All right. Here in Alabama, see you uncles in the backyard frying fish, laughing. We told them nephew is a dog. When them game lights turn on, it's different. It just is. It is. I was saying this. And a lot of people say, why don't you be going so, you should be telling them this on UCSS. For what? I tell them. I've been telling them. And I'm waiting for them to diminish it a little bit. I told you, listen, I said I was going, no. Everybody be saying this. They be full of cap, though. Cap. If he would have played bad, I would have tempered my expectations. What in that young man's history have you ever tempered anything from? We didn't temper them speeding tickets. We didn't temper him dropping to the fifth. We didn't temper every time that he wasn't getting no first team reps. It was loud, proud, outright, and out front. Let's not temper when the completions and touchdowns happen. By the way, who cares what you think about in your own world? It don't mean it's reality. It's some people that still think it's 1976, is it? Nope. They just need some help. In my mind, it didn't count. Well, you don't count. I mean, you can't stop him. That's the thing. That's the great thing about football. It don't matter what you think. Them results is what's popping. Shake hands with destiny. The stats don't tell the whole story. 12 has some amazing NFL throws. He's a franchise QB. We already knew that. He could have easily been 19 to 23. That first drive, they ran the route a little. The tight end needed to go to the route and hit the stick route. Let me tell you this. On a technical aspect, there's throws you can't diminish. Let's start off with the first one. First of all, let's start off with the scramble. They're rushing 5. Shedeur understands that they're rushing 5. He says, all I got to do is beat this defensive tackle outside. It's man-to-man coverage. Everybody's back is turned. I got 15 easy. Does it. Move the chains. Let's talk about the throw on the bootleg. Squares his shoulders up, fading to the left. Lets the ball, drops the dime in between the corner who is bailing and the safety. Touchdown, perfect ball placement. Let's talk about the strike he threw on the goal line. He's back up in his own territory. He got junk and stuff around his feet, hands in his face. He lets go a 20-yard dig rope, a dig route, right on time. That ball is supposed to be 2 yards outside of the hash mark. It was 1.5 yards. On the money. Let's talk about him buying time. Luke Florio, I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'm comfortable. Go ahead, go. Let me drop this dime, give you a chance to make that play. One hand catch. Come on, man. The play action. Oh, he ain't been under center, G. Bush. He can't be he ain't under center. He don't, Stefanski want to run center. He can't do play action. Get to your back foot. Square your shoulders. Catchable soft football for a tight end to get another chunk play. And remember what I said. It's not about dinking and dunking. Shout out to Shedeur. He understood what the objective was. He understood you ain't about to get no job checking it down. I need to see splash throws. Throws that big boys make. Big boy throws. There ain't no Pampers on these football. These is big boy balls. Pause. He showed you touch, arm strength, pocket presence, accuracy, mobility, timing, poise, presence, leadership, charisma. Easy money, man. Easy money. Hey, look, hey, Dragon the Abandoner. Hey, everybody in the chat. Dragon, hey, look. It's a new day. Every other fan base got expectations. They locked in and sitting there waiting. You better do something. You know what the bar is. You saw what Shedeur was doing. You saw what he did. Listen, your boy, Tyler Shook, he better ball. Please believe in New York. Your boy, all young quarterbacks, medium age quarterbacks, the ante has been raised. Everybody had to do their thing. Hey, Wrist up touchdown, Alexander Gallant. Thank you so much for the super chat. Jonathan McGriff, performance over issues. Can't read defenses. Can't communicate plays. Weak arm. Yet he's still him. Because when God has anointed you, your critics can't cancel your calling. They sure can't. They sure can't. There may be some people that don't. Look, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you see it and other people can't see it, see, I can't fault you. There's just, if you tapped in, if you know, you know. See, sometimes it's evident because you see, you're like, oh, okay. And sometimes it's that feeling, that faith, that you just got it. It's in here. You just know what it is. And that's the thing that gives people energy around you. See, being a franchise quarterback isn't just about you being good. It's about them making you feel like I'm important, that you important, that I need you and you need me. And I got a supreme confidence in you. And it don't matter if you're the lowest man on the totem pole or the highest man on the totem pole. I'm going to treat y'all all correctly with respect and dignity. I'm going to be tough enough to tell you what you should be doing. That's what I like too. He was mad. He said, yo, you should have ran that route. I like the fact that you got upset. But at the end of the day, and I like the fact that when you said, how did you play? Well, how do you think you played? He said, I had a C. I didn't do what I need to do. I take full advantage of that opportunity. That's that other thing. Like Avon told Stringer Bell, String, it ain't about them business classes. Kevin Stefanski, it ain't about them analytics. Andrew Berry, it ain't about none of that other stuff you talking about. It's that other thing. My heart pumped red. Your heart pumped green. It's about that other thing. Stats don't tell the whole story. 12 through amazing NFL throws, could have easily been 19 and 23. He is a franchise quarterback, as we knew. We appreciate you. Shake hand with destiny. I want to see Pickett and Gabriel play with the 2s and 3s offense in the O-line against the Eagles and see how they look. It's only fair. That's the energy I'm talking about. Bingo, Char. That's it. The same way you got your feet kicked up, the same way y'all's feet should be kicked up waiting. You said it was a competition. I like seeing competitions. I want to see, listen, you know what? I would love nothing more than Dylan Gabriel to come out here and raise the ante and say, oh, Shedeur, I'm nice too. See, I could respect that out of a man. I respect people that ain't turning down no fair ones. If you want the fair fade, great. And we can shake each other's hand and walk away, still living and breathing. But I like people that step up to the challenge. They should be chomping at the bit, ready to go. Let me get my shot. That's what it is. That's football, right? That's football, right? That's what being men is about, right? Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see it. With the Manning announcement that Arch will not be coming out until 2027, it's thrown a wrench in the plan of tank for Arch. That means they have to play Sanders, especially after this performance. Sapper Daddy 1397. Tell you this. He keep playing like this. That's a funny thing. It's a funny thing about that. I've been dating before. Sometimes you could meet somebody and you could be dating and going on second and third dates or whatever. But if you meet the right person and it's the first date, you'll cancel all them other dates. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't even go out with you. I saw somebody and I think I'm going to marry her. All right, then. Have a great life. right? Like, because when you be on the dating market, you be doing like, you be on the first date, but then you would like, you got 2 second dates planned, and then you got a couple of people with third dates. By the time you get to the 4th date, like nowadays, people gonna want to be clingy. So you really can't get to 4 dates until you figure out what you're doing with the other 3. But sometimes you meet somebody and you be sitting there, you like, all right, I'm supposed to leave this date and go to another one. You call her on the phone, hey, listen, hey, Julie, can't even do it. No disrespect. I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. If you need a reference on LinkedIn, I got you. Other than that, please don't call me no more. He keep playing like that. People gonna be like, Arch who? Arch what? You ain't got no time to be waiting on that. I ain't got no time to be waiting on that. Especially you throwing touchdowns today. Touchdowns got a way of changing people's minds. Shedeur and those 2s and 3s are them ones. We see it. G. Bush on the mount. Praise be the dogs. Danny Flynn, 2057. Thank you so much for the super chat. Stapper Daddy 1397. We are not trying to hear no more excuses no more. If you trash, we will know. No more spinning, no more narratives. Either ball out or get out. There you go. There you go. There you. Y'all listening. Y'all listening, bro. Y'all getting it done. That's what we not hearing it no more. All that other stuff y'all talking about, that's deaded. That's T.I. and Justin Timberlake. Dead and gone, dead and gone. Yeah, that's dead and gone, bro. We on some new stuff. We not, listen, now it's ball out. Get your legs together. You better be getting that treatment. Listen, it was all fun and games till we start dropping them dimes. You see, you know the Browns got 9 quarterbacks. They got a whole nother bus that bring the quarterbacks down. Listen, I tried to tell them, people try to say, I told you, where Jay at? I'm going to tell him that tomorrow too. I told you, oh, well, Pickett, actually, his injury works out for him. No, it don't. What you talk about? You're a football, you don't never want. You think you going to give up a spot? You done gave up his spot. You would give up a spot in football, you may never get that back. What you talking about? You don't let your wife go on another date with nobody. What are you talking about? What you mean? What you mean you about to go? Nah, bro. That's why, look, I had to fight. Listen, somebody told me, hey, they say it usually don't really work out like that. Really, when you talk about your wife and stuff. It's more like with men. Like men, you can't have a workout buddy. Your wife is like, if your wife lets you have a workout buddy, she's crazy. So you mean they're gonna be working out? He gonna be motivating her? Is he a personal trainer? He's gonna be encouraging her through her ups and downs. They're gonna push each other to be better people. They're going to be communicating with each other to get the best out of each other. That sounds like a relationship to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, my my wife, the moderator, she tried to kick me up out of this chat. I said, you can't kick me out of the chat. Oh, here we go. Exactly. That's why I want Dylan to start the next week's game. They treat him like he was a first-round pick, so that's what he gonna do. Sandra speaks the truth. I detect no lies. Now, hey, look, start. There you go, dog. Let's see. Kenny Pickett. Let's see. Because if y'all do well and y'all get y'all money off this week, then don't that mean Shedeur get an opportunity next week? Yeah. You get the last laugh, the last say. See, you got to play chess, not checkers. Chess, not checkers. Shedeur is so polarizing. He turned a visiting field into a home field. If Kevin can't see that and he tries to use this to and try to use this to his advantage, what are we doing? Anthony Riston 7,000. That fan base. Y'all getting it. Y'all understanding it. There's levels to this thing. He went into the lion's den on the road. And all they could show was people doing this. Jumping up and down. On the road. It's in Carolina. We had people move. I try to tell people like this, man. This isn't no local Yoko stuff. There's people that have been following this dude since he was 2 years old. Following since he was 2. There's been people that watched all Colorado games, all of them. I did not know Shedeur Sanders was coming to the Browns. I didn't know. And I watched every game. It's different. It's just different, bro. It's a different vibe, bro. I heard Jamie Foxx going crazy. These are celebrities, bro. What? What? I done seen Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. These is Madden cover athletes. I ain't seen nothing like this, bro. Shedeur balled out. Now let's see how the Browns play their hand now. At Nasir Maru, number 1, I appreciate you. Oh, that's what I'm. The hand is coming. You notice something too. Hey, guys, don't get mad at Kevin on this one. He literally couldn't. He literally could not give Shedeur credit like that because it was going to, because he gonna paint himself into a corner. Because here's the thing, he realizes that his next quarterbacks have to come up and follow that. So after the game, they say, listen, guys, we in that locker room, things is going wild, it's crazy, we in that locker room, guys, we cooking it, we doing our thing. That's what he had to say. That's what he had to do. He had to temper that. Because guess what? He has other guys that need to go. And do we want to put that level of expectation and pressure on him by saying this is the bar right here? We already know what the bar is. He just can't say it. Everything he said about the Cleveland Browns, it was probably because Shedeur is playing. He said there's no turnovers. Well, I didn't throw any picks. We scored on the, yeah, I led 3 drives. Our defense got turnovers. We turned them to 7, not 3. I didn't take too many sacks. There were some penalties. They went on me. And for the most part, I played clean football, put touchdowns on the board, and we got to win on the road. Don't get mad at him. He just can't come out and say that right now. Remember I said, you could be, hey, you be like, man, I think I'm in love. It's the second date. You can't say that. Don't say that now. No, can't do it. Has anyone seen or heard from DeAndre Carter? I seen this dude, but he was on the sideline. I don't know if he was hurt or they got him as a starter, but DeAndre Carter got a crazy number and he got a visor on, so he looked like he should be good. But I didn't see him. G. Bush, we Unbothered fans knew he was coming. Jonathan McGriff, hey, the Unbothered aunties and uncles. Somebody said, hey, just give you a heads up. We even deeper than you thought, G. Bush. We even deeper. We don't be on the net like that. We Unbothered. We just pull up in silence. I said, okay. Project Leroy 920. Shedeur is getting more media analysts on his side now. Tony Grossi and Mary Kay losing credibility each day. More media folks will be exposed. I try to tell, listen, here's the thing about play. Whatever you, however you play and whatever you're going to do, whatever your play trumps everything. You know, Summertime, you gotta make stories up. And I'm not even saying make up like they made up stories. But what I'm saying is, in the off season, you're coming up with storylines. You're just trying to figure out some stuff to talk about. You're just talking about, things that may happen or may not happen. There isn't really concrete stuff because you're not playing. But once them games happen and you start putting stuff on tape, what becomes the narrative is what's on tape, not what we think. And so Mary Kay and Tony Grossi, they are veterans, and they ain't crazy. If he keeps playing well, they have no choice but to say he's playing well. That's just what the job is. You know what I'm saying? That's and ain't nobody that over the top, because nobody, at the end of the day, everybody still knows the Browns will need a quarterback and want a quarterback. So it don't do you no good to put your head in the sand. Look, I think the thing that really helps is the fact that Shedeur Sanders has the ability. He has an uncanny ability to really come off as really likable. Even in that conversation and exchange with Tony Grossi, it didn't come off as contentious. It came off as, yeah, I heard what you be saying to me. I get it. But come on, man, when you come on over, I'm going to give you an olive branch. You ain't got to write all negative things. And I'm not even butthurt about what you did say about me. I can even laugh it off. That's why he's a likable person. I mean, those are the people who are very difficult to dislike, because he's lighthearted. He don't take it that seriously, and he understands how to communicate with people. Stefanski is slowly walking Shedeur to preserve his job. Here's what's up, cuz. I appreciate you down there, man. Here's the thing, though. Here's the slow walk game. He can slow walk all he want. The cat is out of the bag now. It's too many people watching. Remember when your parents used to say, "Don't you embarrass me in front of public"? I never understood what that was. It's already enough pressure being poor and being a parent. You trying to worry about what to put on the table, getting you clothes to go to school, how we putting gas in our car, how we moving around doing what we need to do. And guess what, man? The last thing I need is to be poor, trying to raise a family, and now I got child protective services coming on. Well, actually, ma'am, you shouldn't have said that to him. That's verbal abuse. Well, actually, ma'am, you said that you were you're spanking your child in the store, and that is abuse. So we're gonna have to look. My mom used to be like, listen, all right, you're gonna learn. You ain't gonna have no video games and all these 3 square meals and child protective services. You call them folks if you want to. Don't you embarrass me in public. Bro, we got a lot of stuff. It's public now. It's public. I mean, everybody is running it on a loop. Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith, Ryan Clark, RG3. I mean, what are you talking about? Colin Coward. This is about to lead all next week. And the question's going to come up. Why? If they don't play well, somebody going to say it. I'll say it, throw it out here first. You can tag them and tell them G. Bush said this. If they don't play good enough, somebody's going to say, why can't he play week 1? Somebody going to pull up and say, what do you mean? Why? I mean, why is he not ready to play week 1? Look fine to me. Because now the other quarterback's going to have to play well. And if they don't look well, he's going to look even better. And then if he plays again the last preseason game and he cooks, how you going to say, now hold on now. He didn't cook 2 preseason games. He didn't even play last week. Just letting y'all know what it is. I'm just letting you know. People have made the Geno Smith comparison, but it really looked like, but he really does look like him in the number 12. And I mean that as a compliment. WVU Geno is nice. I like Geno Smith coming out. The ref bump. I appreciate you. Here's the thing with Shedeur. Man, I knew he was accurate, but he was, I mean, the pocket presence and the movement, the unbothered in the pocket is, listen, I can't say this enough. I can't echo this enough. The movement and the nonchalant unbotheredness in the pocket. If that was the main knock of him, that's what got everybody like tripping. The level of movement and nuance and manipulation, and you go deep, and I'm gonna throw with timing. That's something that they said wasn't. Oh, you can't do that. You the speed of the game. That was used against him for months, and for him to come out there and look around and look like the game was not fast at all. Lazy boy comfortable. Skechers comfortable. A flannel throw and a hot cup of coffee on November morning comfortable. Come on now. I'm like, man, he's stepping up in the pocket like that, bro. He just no reps. Oh, he didn't take shot. He didn't take no snaps under center. He can't break the huddle. What you mean he can't be? It's hard. It's hard to come back from that. Shedeur pumps the reverse black fist. A new era struggle over. It's our time. FBA, a new era, unapologetically black and shining like the new sun. Cycle. Jedi sage. I believe in always being exactly who you are and being authentic to it. If you thrive under music and jewelry, thrive away, young man. If you like your solitude and seclusion, you need to mentally prepare, ball in your solitude. If you're a person that has a process to the way you like it, do it. But now, just because you unfamiliar with it, don't mean that it can't work. You know, I don't like guys who celebrate. Well, you ain't won a lot. See? It's funny. A lot of people that don't win in life never like celebrating. Get you some wins, and I guarantee you be a little happier. Wonder what the vets think after Pickett and Gabriel weren't healthy enough to play, but healthy enough to take reps from Shedeur, especially after Friday. The vibe is different now. Hey, you know what them vets is thinking? This dude might be him. I don't care what reps he got. See, the conversation starts to move from them to like, we ain't worry about them. We like him, right? Because you start to separate yourself. You start to see the levels and the difference and excitement level behind that, right? So it's not so much about the other guys and whether they play or not. You're just excited to see that young guy play. You're excited to get out here to see what he do next. Because that's what the world is excited about, right? The thing is, the world is saying, okay, that was week one. I can't wait to see him this week, right? Well, just think about what the locker room feeling like. Elaine Moore, thank you so much for the super chat. They can no excuses for Dylan Gabriel going against the Eagles. Isn't Dylan third round pick, to be fair? Shouldn't go against better talent? Dylan should be excited for the opportunity. Whoever in the huddle, is in the huddle, like I told them with Shedeur. You got a chance to prove yourself. They said you too small, too short, you can't see over the line of scrimmage. Let's see what you got. That's what football is. Kenny Pickett, they said you got a raw deal in Pittsburgh. Got a raw deal. You was leading the pack before your hamstring got hurt. Show us what they saw. That's what I'm trying to see. You know what I'm saying? It's the competition, right? Yoshi Doshi 2006. Hannibal conquered Rome. Government said no. Alexander was exiled, but was the heir, then conquered the unknown world, then found Egypt and ruled it. Who is Shedeur really? Is he our franchise quarterback, G? I'll say this. A very interesting thing about Alexander the Great is his 12 generals that just fought over. His 12 generals that just fought. No heir, just fought over. And some of them were cool. Some of them were completely delusional. Some of them were crazy. But if you ever want to look up Alexander the Great's 12 generals that squabbled for the next part of I don't know how many years. Let's talk about is Shedeur really, is he our franchise quarterback? I think he has the ability to be a franchise quarterback. How you decide whether you're a franchise quarterback is the long haul, right? This is just the battle. The war is, all right, how do you become the starter? And then the real war begins, because now every single week they got a game plan for you. Now people's trying to watch you. People trying to listen. That's when we just trying to put ourselves in position to rule, right? See, it's a difference between winning wars and battles and governing. There's a lot of people that can win wars, but can you govern? Can you control that territory after you capture it? Can you implement the people that you conquered into your civilization? What are you going to do with religion? How are you going to make sure that they don't rise up? How are you going through taxes? What are we doing? Right? Governing is a different skill set than battling. That's why I'm excited about Shedeur, because I actually think he has a lot of good skill sets that lend itself to being a good governor. He can govern. He has good people skills. He's likable. So for me, those are the characteristics that I think can put him in a position that he can be a franchise quarterback, which means he can play and he understands what he needs to do outside of that. Sarita Allen, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, I was there at the game. Not only did he command the game, he commanded the stadium. Fourth quarter, everybody bounced. Hey, we had to do on UCSS when he came out the game. I was like, hey, it's time to do the post-game show. Time for the post-game show. Ain't nothing else to see here. Oh, man. Griffin Notary. Supercomputer Dylan processors got stuck seeing Shedeur ball out and needed a hard reset. He got that blue screen of death. That blue screen of death be different. Let's see. From the words of the late great Bob Marley, who you bless? Let no man curse. That was my terrible Jamaican. My Jamaican's terrible. G. Bush, you ever notice that Coach Stefanski never gives Shedeur credit? To ask him how Shedeur played, he says everybody played well. Interesting. I told you, DeMonte, he couldn't do it. There's too much pressure on the other dudes. You can't say this. You can't listen. It's hard to say. Listen, he didn't get no reps. I mean, we tried hard not to give you no reps, and he came out there and cooked. Baraka Bib, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. And commentary is 100. Thank you for keeping it real. We always got to. Tribe of Judah, 1983. Big dog, $100 super chat. I got to give you your flowers. I appreciate you, my guy. G. Bush, I love you, man. Why Stefanski didn't even mention Shedeur's greatness? Can you elaborate, my brother? I think we got to that, but we'll talk. We'll touch down on that a little bit. That's an organizational situation. Because here's your problem. You ever know that sometimes people can come out of nowhere and it throws a monkey wrench in your plans. Now, guess what? They may have already came into the season and said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to act like it's going to be a competition. We're going to act like he's going to be a starter. It could be a starter, but we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we're going to play him this week. Sometimes they be having plans already wrote down, done, data, ready to go. And guess what? Problem with that is this. When you start to see what guys can really do in real life, plans change. And he got to sit down now and talk to the offensive coordinators, defensive coordinator. He got to talk to the owner. He like, listen, I didn't expect to see none of this. How we going to move with this? Because my thought process was he played mediocre. They play the rest of the guys. And then their last preseason game, he may play a little bit. Now it's like he played that well. Now the other guys got pressure to play well. And then now people going to say, well, if they play bad, I want to see Shedeur again. Then you start to change things. You're like, well, do we give him more reps? How are we supposed to move with this? I think that right now, you want to have a vanilla-ish take as possible. You're not even, because when somebody goes out of their way not to say somebody's name, that means it's a problem. If you can't even, I always say this, if you can't even say your ex's name, that means you're not over them. You're supposed to just be like, hey, it is what it is. Hey, I did this X, Y, and Z and didn't work out. I wish you the best of luck. But I think they ain't said because they got some real figuring out to do. Been saying it for months. Coach trusted him with halftime adjustments. Shedeur equals Stefanski's guy. Devil in the details. Attention to the detail. You see how it's Kevin Stefanski don't like turnovers. He don't like turnovers. You see how excited he was in the post game about that? Crazy. Shedeur got me leaving sunny Florida for cold Cleveland just to see a game. I already know I'm going to overpay. I will. Bucks fan, Unk for life. Welcome to the fold. I'll be out there right with you. Shedeur play remind me of young Elway. Woo! Lee. If you got a young Elway, I got to take a sip of this Gatorade. Young Elway. Woo! We got one. He's decisive on top of his movement in the pocket, pocket to buy time and make plays impressive. Young Elway. Jaguar 89. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. Generous. To all my GMs that do not have a top 10 quarterback, they should tell Cleveland right now, I'll give you right now my 2026 first round pick in the 2026 draft. Shedeur already has been contract signed in the NFL for 4 years now. Hey, Jaguar, what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to do my best to disconnect those phone calls. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't know if I could do that, my man. We need. Look too good in the brown jersey. Look too good. Nobody asked the Titans to slow walk Cam Ward. By the way, who looked good too. Cam Ward took the challenge. Cam Ward was like, I'm tired of people talking about Shedeur. I'm the number one pick. I can throw the football too. Yoshidoshi, he didn't slide, but he stepped up, stepped to the side. He did the electric slide and still completed the pass. Detractors, what now? K. Fresh Harris, an NFL insider, said that the AFC North executive was surprised about Shedeur's performance. I don't know why. Maybe you weren't watching the tape good enough. Travis Talley, keep it up. Keep keeping it real, G. Bush. I appreciate you, Travis. Appreciate you. Wow. They be dropping them, man. Tribe of Judah, 1983. My brother, I appreciate you. Y'all been way too gracious in here today. All those out there. I love, like I said before, I do love super chats. You know what I'm saying? I got to show y'all love. But the situation is, listen, if you don't feel bad if you can't, but you know what you can do? You can always show love by just liking wherever you at, sharing wherever you at, and commenting. making sure other people can see this content. So I appreciate every single comment that we getting. Varian Brandon 247. Real question, not being flippant. Why do white men like your fellow host, but seem to be universal? But seem to be universal. Why do they hate swag and celebrations? I think I always talk about this. This is a good question. For me, I always say this. It's a culture. Like, culture is something that should be studied, right? Culture is something that should be studied. As people that come from different places and backgrounds, there's different emphasis placed on certain things. If you go to Asia, if you go to Japan, discipline is huge. The reverence for authorities, huge. And in certain parts of the world, they eat with their hands. It's not because they're not clean. It's because they feel eating is an intimate thing. Eating is something that is a highly emotional, personal thing, and sharing a meal with a person. And the process of eating together, breaking bread, is a special spiritual event. Some people just say, well, why are you eating with a fork? That means you're uncivilized. No. It's culture. It's different, right? So to me, it's important to always understand cultural differences and able to appreciate the cultural differences that other people have. When you talk to Black people about Black people, the level of celebration that Black people come from, in times of slavery, we ate certain foods because that's all we had, but we would doctor it up. We eat all of the different parts of the pig, and then we would celebrate, and we would come together and have a community event, sing songs, and that's why in our community, still to this day, you meet at your grandmother's house on Sundays, and you have Sunday meals, and you have the art of storytelling. You tell these tales and stories that's passed down from generation to generation. In Africa, there's kings and people come from royalty. So you like jewels and shiny things and luxury and material. In the Congo, they call them dandies. They walk around in the Congo, but they got full suits tailored from Europe, from France. They live in a village and come from poor background. But the dichotomy between them walking down the street in the Hermes and the Yves Saint Laurent and the Balmains and the Tom Ford suits, and they ironing them and got them pressed. That's just in your spirit. Like, flash is in some people's spirit. Because a lot of times people don't understand, joy is your strength. The Bible says joy of the Lord is your strength. And that's what keep you going when you ain't got nothing. So a lot of times people don't understand celebrating. They don't understand it. But it's a cultural thing. It's also an emotional thing. When you playing on that football field, you need anything you can get to turn the tide. Even in battles and with generals. Generals used to get in, and we talk about Alexander the Great and Hannibal. Great generals lead from the front. Great generals don't sit back in the horse. They lead from the front. And what they always talk about, the morale of the men. Go back and listen to any Revolutionary War, Civil War, any war, the morale of the men is important. And so that when you see your top playmaker making plays, the morale of the men says, we're not done. We're not finished today. We still can come back. It's just, but here's the thing. The reason I understand it is because I've lived it. I've been there. I've been in places where I knew that in high school, I said, you know what? I wanted a scholarship so bad. I said, when I woke up, I used to watch TV shows, and they say, listen, what is it? What I used to say, Mom, how I'm going to college? She said, you gonna get a scholarship. Either athletic or academic. You pick one. And so when you have that level, I knew I had to get it. I played a whole year knowing I needed surgery. But I was so scared, like, oh, if I tell them I got to have surgery, I'm done. I can't play. This is my only shot. I played that whole year. Like my life depended on it. I got that scholarship. But you got to play in a way, and you got to be excited in a way, and you got to be outwardly, you got to go to another place. That's why I feel it's important to have that experience. I know what it is to go to another place. I know what it feels like to have a quarterback in the huddle who can't play and one that can play, that can make a play that you say, dang it, let's get the ball back for that guy. Celebrations is an outward part of the game, and it's an expression. Why would you not want to play joyful? Why would you not want to play enthusiastic? I don't want people to sleepwalk through life. That's why I get so mad when people try to tell me this don't count. You telling me more about yourself than you telling me about them. Listen, I'm everything count. You ain't promised tomorrow. You ain't promised the next second. You better live today like you ain't got nothing and they ain't never coming back. So those people that live that way, celebrate that way. I like it. 12-2, 144. If you, Patrick, see, a lot of people don't even know. People don't even know, right? You know the numerology. Has some sports group board looking at Jimmy like this. Rafiki said, look harder. What's the story on the black quarterback that sat next to Dylan Gabriel? Christian affirmation. That was Deshaun Watson. He hurt, injured. He's the dude that got $230 million guaranteed. Yeah, that didn't work out too well. Oh, Kevin was geeked. I saw his face. You saw his face. He didn't want to get too excited. Don't want to get too excited. Kirk Davis. They say our quarterback is in the 2026 draft. I say ain't none but mediocre quarterback at best. Another Baker Mayfield selling. We need to get an offensive line in 2026 to trade the pick, get back to the top of 2027, get OSU receiver. See, here's the thing. I ain't looking back. I'm in the fierce urgency of today. The fierce urgency of today tells me one thing. Fierce urgency of today tells me one thing. I'm worried about what you're doing tomorrow. The bar has been set. Arch Manning got to do his thing. Hey, Klubnik better do his thing. Steller's got to come out there and play. All that like you said, I'm not that arrogant, but you know how arrogant that sounds? You can't be arrogant talking about 2027 and these folks ain't even came out and produced what they needed to do to get drafted. It is what it is. Election cornbread, electronic cornbread. I love the name. Late to the stream, but new to the channel. Salute. Deep concerns about the Cleveland media cohorts. I listened to Mary Kay reaction last night and heard nasty coded language about Shedeur and what his family brings. Am I crazy? I didn't hear what she said. I didn't check that out. I'll tell you this. I think when you start to see Shedeur Sanders play, that's the crazy thing about it is Shedeur Sanders in his play moves the conversation. You know, I think what you're going to see is a lot of people move to, hey, prove it again. Hey, this is cool, but it ain't the regular season. Hey, this is cool. Or they'll try to justify, well, Kevin Stefanski had to work with him because he didn't realize, he didn't understand the plays. He didn't know nothing. Oh, I'm so tired of everybody being on the internet just jumping on the Shedeur hype. Nah, bro. You'll hear some of that next week. But the problem is this. I look at it in a different perspective. The perspective is I'm analyzing what he did. Now let's cook. Now I'm trying to see somebody else do it. Or what are we talking about? We are in the we are in the position right now where it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. It's not about what you write, it's what about it was actually happening. And the more he plays correct, the more he balls, the more difficult it's going to be for you to have any detracting. You just have to move along. But I always tell people, you could be on the right side of history here. You could be first to the party. Electronic cornbread, but I do appreciate you and welcome to the stream. I hope you'll check out some more of our podcasts. G. Bush, you are the truth. Dave Johnson, 65. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yoshi, love you, G. I have my Kool-Aid. Let's rock 2025. By the way, let me tell you something like this too. Let me tell you this too. I think this is kind of arrogant and corny too. And you know what? I'm going to raise my hand on this one. Sometimes you can be wrong as well. Let me tell you where I was wrong. I need to stop co-signing this line of thinking. And sometimes when you say co-signing means don't say not speaking up. I don't know what the Cleveland Browns is going to be. I don't know what nobody is going to be. The thing about life is we're going to see it play out. And when it plays out, we can talk about it. But I'm not gonna sit here and cast nothing on nobody talking about they're gonna be terrible. We don't know that. They were supposed to be not very good the year they went to the playoffs and did with 5 different quarterbacks. The Commanders wasn't supposed to go to the NFC Championship. There's a lot of things that wasn't supposed to happen that have transpired. One thing that we got to do is we got to stop actually checking in and checking out. Like we have the ability to only give somebody a fair shake or to be able to analyze something only when we feel like it's evident. Don't nobody care what you think. What you think has no bearing on the world. What I think about the games only means something when they happen. So if you ask for my prediction, I give you my prediction. But I'm not going to blindly just say that they're going to be trash and going to win these games or lose these games, because that's being blind to the fact that people have a role to play and whether you're good or not. And in the NFL, people are good and bad all the time that we think they are. Did I think the Cleveland Browns was going to be a 3-14 team last year? No, but they were. So it didn't matter. Does it matter what I think? No. We got to watch it play out, man. I got to stop saying that. Well, they're going to be terrible in the next 3 years. No. Shedeur balled out. But, hey, Marshall looked good at running back in the backfield. Too early to say Judkins who. Go get Shepard. Doggy B1. I like Marshall. He ran hard. He did his thing. I ain't going to say Judkins who. That's a whole nother problem. Flacco makes plays but turns it over. Kenny doesn't turn it over but doesn't make plays. Dylan is to be determined, but Shedeur can make plays and not turn it over. Somebody screenshot that. This dude dragging the abandoner is now becoming very prolific. And he's cooking. Let me read that again. Flacco makes plays but turns it over. Kenny doesn't turn it over but doesn't make plays. Dylan is to be decided, to be determined, but Shedeur can make plays and not turn it over. Somebody clip that. That's clinic tape right there. That should be a tweet. That's clinic. How does the owner, Mr. Havlin, feel knowing he can never get 100% of the praise like Andrew Barrett and the GM for going all out in the draft with Sanders? Oh, Neil, he'll change that. Narratives have a funny way of changing. You know, the thing about humans is we have a terrible attention span. we only remember the last news cycle. We don't remember things very well. And then when we do remember them, we let our biases kind of like trickle in. Like you could be like, you ever see a person, like you get out of a bad relationship and then be like 2-3 years later, your mind does something weird. It changes all of your memories to good memories. So you start to parse things out. You start to only think about the times that you had good times. You think about the times you went on vacation. You think about the times that you were getting along. You don't think about the times you was arguing, the times that you was like, I can't stand this person, the times you was like, why did I even get married to this person? You don't remember none of that. Your body and your mind filters all that out. When Shedeur Sanders start to get playing, there's going to be a contingency in the local media that will already say, we always knew he could play. All the other noise is what brought him down. We all knew he was a first-round talent. When they're lying, you said he was a fifth-round pick, and you said it a lot. But that's the way people's attention span are. It'll turn out that Jimmy Haslam will say, guess what? Remember, I was the one. I was the one. I was the one. I picked him, and we went to see Colorado multiple times, and, some, extenuating circumstances had us take, and they'll spin it, do all kind of stuff. Brenda Wiggins became a YouTube member. Thank you for becoming a member on UCSS. See, you nailed it. Were you a history major? Love it. Nah, what? Not just watch a lot of YouTube videos. Right? Like, nah, like I just be one of, like, I'm one of the people that just want, I got a thirst for knowledge. I got a thirst for just, you know what I'm saying? Just history in general. Like I said before when we started, man, you can learn a lot from history and a lot of different things. To this day, people still study the way Hannibal did it. People still study some of these generals and stuff like that. So, and look, I just like to be, I just like to know what your history is. When you know your history, you can kind of tell what the future might look like. Susan Weeks Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you so much. You were born for this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys checking in with me. And I appreciate we gotta listen. I told y'all we're gonna become one big family. We're gonna be one big happy family. I told you I'm gonna bring the whole family together. The aunties, the uncles, the Shedorians, the Colorado Buffalo Nation with the Cleveland Browns. We're gonna bring y'all together. I'm gonna bridge the gap. I'm gonna teach you guys how to communicate with one another and why you are the way you are. And then what we're gonna do? We're gonna win these games. I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna win these games. And when we win these games, it's gonna come true. I told you, I've said it since day one, the Cleveland Browns are America's team. Y'all just don't know it yet. The Cleveland Browns, the great Jim Brown. What are you talking about? The dog pound. We will unite the both fan bases, and we shall come together and win. And when we win, we will have a parade on 7 continents. Browns backers in South America, Browns backers in North America, and including Canada and Mexico. Browns backers in the Scandinavian countries. Browns backers in Australia, Asia, Africa. Listen, it's going to be one of the biggest celebrations you ever seen. We're going to do it big. We're going to do it big. I can't wait. I can't wait. Trust me, I can't wait. Y'all get ready. Get them tickets. Come on up here. A lot of you thought, nah, you can't. Listen, y'all going to have to get on them planes. Come on up here. Prime, get your box ready, Prime. Come on now. You can't be with the regular folks at the bottom. We need to see you in the box. Come on now, Prime. You know, the football season long. Get you one of them boxes up here, man. Get you one of them Taylor Swift boxes. William J. Williams, we appreciate the super chat. Uh, Variant Brandon 247. The code word is circus. It's disrespectful. You know, they used to call me, I used to always say this, man. They used to always call me, G. Bush is a clown. I said, you right. The nickname is Big Circus. Put some respect on it. I'm the biggest clown in the game. You know what I'm saying? I got the loudest mouth. You know, when this clown speaks, everybody got to listen. So you say what you want. But it ain't, listen, it ain't no circus. You know what that is? It's called expectations. You see, when you start playing well and them eyeballs get on you, it ain't the circus that they talking about. It's you got to rap. Make them rap. Make them make decisions. Because now it's a real competition. And it ain't nothing Shedeur said or did. It's the play. Ain't no circus with the play. You see what I'm saying? We ain't going back. We ain't going back. Make them say what it is. It ain't the circus. It's the play. Because now the play is undeniable. The energy around the play is the attention. And that attention makes you accountable. All right, so let's get it right. It ain't the circus. It's the play. The play leads to attention. That attention of the mass, the media, the fans, that holds you accountable. It ain't the fact that people don't want the circus. They don't want the accountability. Because now you can't play no games. Right? You can't say this person is better and we just gonna play them. You're accountable because people done saw it. We ain't going back. The disrespect is, hey, listen, we passed disrespect. We on to accountability. It's in Coach Stefanski's court. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Is it a coincidence that most negative NFL media are some of the most losing? Yeah. Losing is a thing that becomes your identity after a while. You got to watch that. When you're in a losing culture, you become to be very, how should I say it? You become to think like that. That's why it's important to have somebody who does not come from that. Why do you think when they have mergers, they get rid of all the top level leadership? We had a merger for a reason. Y'all wasn't getting it done by yourself. So you need to get somebody else in here who don't know nothing about you taking L's, who's not stuck in their tracks, who's not stuck in the mud, who not being held back by their past. They ain't weighed down by the baggage, the emotional, the mental, the financial baggage. They come in with new, fresh ideas and want to hit the ground running. While you still stuck in the dogma, you still stuck in the, oh, let's hang out and fair tradition, doctrine. Come on, man. I said it earlier. History has always rewarded innovators, bold thinkers. We can all be wrong, man. We stay quit. Stay quit. Nobody knows. I be wrong sometimes. Super sticker, Eugene Wheeler. Appreciate you so much. Last preseason, it was yours, the dude from Georgia. Where they got drafted again. Worry about today, because they college quarterbacks are fickle. Dud 1103, you are correct. You're thinking about Quinn Ewers. Carson Beck is the name you're looking for. Top #1 pick, Carson Beck, Georgia, all the intangibles. And then, not so much. He plays for the University of Miami. Let's see if he can get back going. Remember a guy named Tate Martell? Tate Martell. Come on, man. You gonna hit your wagon to all these young boys? Stop. They still got to go out and do what they need to do. We got a couple more super chats here. Brother G, I'm a Shedeur fan and a follower all the way back to JSU. I found your channel when Cleveland drafted him, bro. He is the truth. Mostly because he knows how to win. The dude is a winner. Carl Mays, thank you so much for the super chat. I found a lot of y'all when we drafted him because he's so crazy. The same time y'all was watching him, I was watching him at Jackson State way back when. Same time y'all was at Colorado, I was watching him at Colorado too. Watching the same thing y'all saw. So when he got here, and by the way, that last day I was hot. By the time he got to the 5th round, I was hot. I said, I know they ain't trying to play these games. I was mad at the whole NFL. I wasn't even thinking about the Browns per se. I said, I can't believe everybody gonna play these games. And then when the Browns took him, I said, oh boy, I didn't even think we was gonna get him. Didn't even think. But guess what? I knew what they got when they got him. And people try to talk me off the ledge. G. Bush, you're pandering. You're pandering. You're just that you to the Shedeur crowd. I mean, how you gonna disrespect me? How you? I listen. First and foremost, man, don't disrespect me like that, man. I don't got to pander for nothing. I done devoted my life to watching football. I done seen quarterbacks come and go. I done started from the ground level. I'm talking about watching film, doing all kind of stuff. I play. Listen, at the end of the day, the people who I talk to, they ain't accountable to none of that stuff. They don't just play fantasy football. They're coaches, players, former Hall of Famers. I don't have to pander for nothing. What I'm telling you was the disrespectful part was you thought he was just good because he had his daddy's last name. That ain't how sports works. That's why I know a lot of y'all ain't played no sports. It don't work that way. You don't get respect because who your dad is. I told people you could be rich, you could be poor, you could be whatever religion you want to be. When you get on them white lines, it's going to come out in the rinse. You think somebody care about that? He wouldn't have never got to where he was at if it was just about his father and he couldn't play. The fact that people really doubled down on that was wild to me because when you ask them and you get them and you ask them the simple question, what did you think about him in high school? I didn't watch him. What did you think about him in college? I didn't watch him. Well, what are you talking about? I don't understand how you feel comfortable doing that. There's a level of football integrity that you should have as a person that watches the game or as an analyst that gets paid to do this. But if you didn't watch a person, you still have the opportunity to go do it. You do. It's available readily. So if you said I didn't watch it back then, before this first game he played, you could have went home, put the time, energy, effort in, and watched it and evaluated it, couldn't you? But you didn't need to because you think you think your opinion based around nothing but your opinion because you said it and your position makes you credible. That doesn't. Your work, your what you put into it, studying the game, watching the game, that's what makes you relevant. Why used people say, G. Bush, why'd you go to practice? Because I was tired of seeing other people go to practice, and I was like, nah, I'm not seeing that. So you know what I did? Instead of just arguing with people on the internet, I went to practice. And I saw it for myself. So that's the energy. People like, it's wild to me. But that's where we at today, though. It's the reason why there ain't no ESPNs no more. Fox Sports is disseminating. No disrespect to any of those big conglomerates. But people want the real. They want the real conversation. They don't want that analyst stuff. The thing that irks me the most is when former players go on these radio stations and talk like they're analysts. No, you're the expert, bro. You put the work in. They trying to be you. Talk your talk. You ain't got to be polished. Well, I just think he needs to be a game manager and, wants to see the football. I'm going to thank my mom every single day. I used to bring my demo tapes home from Ohio Media School. And they was polished and sound good, she said, but it's still, every time I would show, she said, that don't sound like you. I bring another demo. She said, that was better, but that don't sound like you. And then you know what? One day I said, what are you talking about? She was like, talk like you talk. And if whoever don't understand it, They ain't for you. I said, okay. So I pulled up on him and I started talking my talk. First, people started being like, "Oh, he does. You said a slang word right there. You said a slang." I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to people that don't. This ain't for everybody. And even when I said that, and I continue to keep going, you know what? Them people that used to say, you know, you're not talking proper. You know what? You know what they started doing? Started being right in that chat too. Yeah, they started to understand. They said, hold on. He doing a little something different, bro. He intelligent though too. He weave it in. It's all about the story, man. I appreciate y'all though. Thank you so much. Imagine baby and wrist up is respect to dad. Wrist up is to signify prime time. Eugene Wheeler, appreciate the super chat. Viva Hernando 1. G. Bush, you ready for 200K subs with this new era? Hey, man. I'm excited for if you pulled up on me day one. I'm excited I told somebody, give me 20,000 real over 200,000 fake. I'll take it. I just need a couple of real ones. I appreciate whoever pulling up on here. For me, it ain't even about the numbers no more. I'm trying to go impact. That's it. I want the impact. Like I really want to say some stuff that really means something. I ain't trying to do no fluff. I don't want no people around me that ain't into no impact. That's what I want, impact. Is you saying something that really matter, that's hitting. If I only get the 50,000, but I'm still, it's impactful. It moves people. It fills your soul. You come away feeling like you got something, or you learned something, or you feel better than you did when you got on. I'll take that over any of that. But I'll take 200 too. If God got it for me, and that's what he put on my plate, and that's who he sent, I'll work with whoever he sent. I appreciate everybody. Tribe of Judah, facts. Thank you, brother, for keeping it real, my brother. I appreciate you, man. You've been doing your thing. I appreciate you. Been so generous today. Neil Gray, if you don't polish a diamond, it won't shine. Gotta go through the fire. Years of pressure to get a diamond. Years of pressure, right? To turn this dark lump into one of the hardest gems and the shiniest gems on the face of the planet. It's a thing. Just a Girl, 07. Fear is expensive. Keep talking that talk. Authenticity. You guys been great. I appreciate every single one of you. And as we continue, we will continue to get ready to go. Cleveland Browns, Philadelphia Eagles coming up this week. Anxious to see Shedeur Sanders and see what kind of reps he gets. Anxious to see what Kevin Stefanski says. Anxious to see what Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco do. I'm telling you, this is the most riveting storyline in the game. It has got real. I'm telling you this now. He got a shot. People keep talking about playing game one. Mysterious things have happened. And he's on the move. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might show up, radio, television, internet. If you want the real take, the real cut, the fresh cut on sports, you see what it said in the back. It's the Barbershop. And I keep the Clippers with me. I want you guys to have a great, safe rest of your weekend. And as always, like I always tell y'all, go Browns.